like a clock tells the time. Here is a man with a heart of gold and a stubbornness right to his bones. Here is a man with a faith as wide as a river, feeding the tide, the tide. One on the rigging, one in the air. We're strumming a tune with the greatest of care. He speaks with his hands. He speaks with his hands. Here is a woman who gives her life to her family, her job, the land, day and night. Here is a woman who speaks her mind, but she shelters her heart inside, inside. One on the baby, one on the stove. We're driving that old 3-ton down a dirt road. She speaks with her hands. She speaks with her hands. Every line, every scar, an honest story that tells who you are. You don't have to wonder where I stand. Just take a look at these hands. One holding on, one letting go. On the skin of the man his lifetime is shown. He speaks with his hands. He speaks with his hands. He speaks with his hands, and that one came about a long time ago, actually, but I just completed it more recently. But when I brought my husband out to meet my family, we went down to visit my grandparents who live kind of just right across the road, and we visited, we had tea, and he got grilled a little bit, I think, by Grandpa. And anyway, when we were leaving, he said to me, "Yeah, just your grandpa has the biggest hands I have ever seen on a man." I shook his hand and I just got lost in them, and I thought about that, and yeah, it's true. He had massive hands, and it showed, what he'd done with his life and how he'd spent his time, and there were different sides to him that I could see from looking at his hands, and that really means something to me. And I find myself looking at people's hands now. I notice them, and when you shake their hand, what it says about them, and yeah.
That's a nice story.
Thank you.
So what got your start in music? What got you interested in playing in the first place?
Well, again, it was Grandpa, but he played guitar and sang, and we lived in such close proximity that he just kind of figured they can come down and play with me and sing. So standing at the end of his guitar on this green shag rug that they had, I never forget it, and learning the songs that way and learning how to sing and how to enjoy music and be in front of people. And he was the only voice coach I ever had, and he told me not to sing through my nose. That was the only advice that I remember from him, but or the one that sticks out the most anyway. And so, yeah, that got my start, and then I took some lessons, and I learned to play a little bit and play piano and different instruments, and the music just came with me when I left home, and when you're lonesome and broke and going to school, you need something to pass the time and something to be a companion, and that's what music was for me. And I started doing some competitions, mostly singing competitions, more karaoke style stuff, and I realized that wasn't exactly where my heart was, and I needed to write my own tunes, and that's when I started doing that, and just drawing influence from lots of different genres of music too, I think, and hopefully it's all mixed into its own sound.